Hello, my name is Josh Kruger. I'm a neuro-ophthalmologist at Hadassah Medical Center. This is Shachar, he's one of our medical students. And in this video that we're doing together, we're going to demonstrate my tips for using a direct ophthalmoscope to successfully examine someone. Okay, I've turned on my direct ophthalmoscope and I have a circle of white light here. The ophthalmoscope has different settings, but it's the circle that I'd like, and you have different sizes of circles. It's believed that it's appropriate to use a circle that's small enough to match the patient's pupil size. So I have my circle set up. The next thing I'm going to do is reduce my intensity of the light to the bare minimum until I can see it. This is very important to keep the patient comfortable and not to use more light than you need to. On my dial here, we have the focusing dial. And here I'm going to set it to a plus. There's plus and minus numbers. The plus are usually green. And I'm setting it to a high plus number of about 15. Okay, at this point I've asked the patient's permission to examine him. I've washed my hands and I'm going to proceed now to examine the eyes. I'm holding with my right hand the direct ophthalmoscope because I'm going to examine his right eye. And everything goes together. If I'm examining his right eye, I hold it in my right hand, and I'm going to hold it to my right eye. If I proceed to examine his left eye, I'm going to switch hands, hold it to my left eye as well. So, I have the use of your left hand is very important. And what you're going to do is you put your thumb underneath the eye, and then I use my fourth finger, or my third finger, and put it right on his eyebrow. One of the things that this helps me reassure is that I'm always worried that I might push the direct ophthalmoscope into his eye, and having my finger there I know is blocking me from doing that. Important is what I'm doing with my left hand, and that's to stabilize it on the patient's eye area. I'm putting my left thumb underneath his eye, on the cheekbone almost, and my fourth finger right over the eyebrow. And I'm extending out my index finger, which is going to make contact and help me stabilize my direct ophthalmoscope. After that, I'm going to now proceed to look through the direct ophthalmoscope and focus in on the iris and the conjunctival vessels and make sure that everything looks normal. Once I've done that, I'm going to now zoom in onto the fundus, onto the retina, and to do that I'm going to advance the dial towards the minus direction about 10 clicks. And as that's done, the retinal vessels will come into focus. And then I fine-tune in order to see them as clearly as I can. The next thing I'm going to do is try to focus on the optic nerve. And in order to do that, I'm going to focus nasally. And that means moving myself out a little bit laterally until I see the optic nerve. I'm then going to fine-tune my focus again until I see the borders of the optic nerve as clearly as I can. And then I'll proceed to assess the qualities of the optic nerve, such as its color, the borders, and the quality of the vessels. I hope that you've found this demonstration helpful. I want to remind you that, like with any skill in life, it's practice, practice, practice. Don't give up after it hasn't worked the first or the second time. Slowly, slowly it'll come, and it's certainly something that can be mastered. I want to thank Shachar very much for volunteering his time to be with us, and also Professor Donchim, who is behind the camera, for making it all happen. Good luck.